Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Astrodology with Astrid. Thank you so much for listening. Your presence is so appreciated. I get to share messages that hopefully inspire you and support you on your path. Today's message comes from an author, Tosha Silver. She has several books, and I just wanted to share this story and an excerpt from some of her work and share how things come about in your life when you are open and receptive. Sometimes when we're not conscious and aware. I take it that the day I discovered her book, and this one book in particular, I definitely was open and aware. My awareness was high because otherwise, and on another time, I would have missed it. So I open with this quote from Tosha Silver. Divine order says that the perfect solution to any problem is already selected if you allow yourself to be guided. Divine source says there is a natural universe abundance that knows how to meet every need. Harmonizing with this force of love, call it the Shakti, God, Goddess, One Mind, whatever you will, is the golden key to everything. If a state of radical openness, acceptance, and attention is held. Amen. So during the times when I, without question, follow the guidance that I receive in the moment, when I'm really tapped in, when I'm really earnest in my practices, it is always transformative to me. As I look through my life, this has always been the case. This happened almost maybe 2 or 3 years ago. When I accepted a spontaneous offer from my friend to visit Santa Barbara for the day. And one of the places that we went to in Santa Barbara is called the Sacred Space. So my answer was an immediate yes. As I remembered, I love Santa Barbara. It's one of the places that if I could live anywhere in the United States, it would be Santa Barbara, California. But I am lucky that I'm living in my second favorite place here in Southern California. Living in South Pasadena right now is a dream come true. So Santa Barbara holds a special place in my life. And it is such a beautiful area. And it's one of what I consider my sacred home away from home. Also, it doesn't hurt that Santa Barbara is considered Nice, I think it's the city of Nice in France. It's considered Nice's sister city, or one of the cities in France. And if you know anything about me by now, if nothing else, listening to me and my friend Katia Gervais, I love France. So there you go. So we began by visiting the incredible Sacred Space. So the Sacred Space is an extraordinary, exquisite, beautiful spiritual shop and haven. And it's just nestled just south of Santa Barbara in a town called Summerlin. Now they have created the most exceptional environment, and they have a beautiful outdoor garden oasis, and the foliage internally, externally, and every part of it is part of your experience. I don't know how they do it. It's an indescribable experience. You feel like you arrived in Bali, Nepal, or India. I've not been to these countries, but what you see in the films, it is identical. Or pick another sacred land in the world that you may have traveled to, but just drop dead gorgeous. And they graciously offer you a tea ceremony. So the tea ceremony is placed outside where you can sit and relax amidst the gardens. So if you're ever in California, you're in Southern Cal, and you have time to take a travel up the coast, I encourage you to stop by the Sacred Space. This is a must-do destination visit or required stop on your way to or from Santa Barbara. Anyway, after selecting a beautiful incense holder and making my way towards the front to pay, Tosha Silver's bright yellow book called Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead caught my eye. I remember saying to myself, and then I said out loud to my friend, this book is for me. Once I was reading the quote on the back of the book, which said this: what if the divine is constantly igniting roadside flares to get our attention? What if there actually is a supreme organizing principle with an unbridled sense of humor? And if we each have this ardent inner suitor who's writing us love letters every day that go unopened? I was floored by this. Let me read that again. What if the divine is constantly igniting roadside flares to get our attention? What if there is actually a supreme organizing principle with an unbridled sense of humor? And if we each have this ardent inner suitor who's writing us love letters every day that go unopened? Again, blown away by this. So it only took me 5 days or less, and I devoured this book. It was almost like I couldn't put it down because it's filled with hilarious stories, anecdotes, and those universal messages that I love so much. So the below is an excerpt from the book, and it gives great insight into Tosha's work. And it's truly an amazing message for any time. This message is universal. It's relevant whenever you hear it, whenever you listen to it. But I really do think that we are in this time where the earth is shifting. The codes are shifting. We're shifting from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. We're living in this crazy eclipse time, and the planet is shifting. Mother Earth is going through some tectonic plate shifting, and we are a part of that energy. So it's great insight into her work. So here is the excerpt that I wanted to share with you today. Something happens after you align with the divine for a while. You begin to feel on a cellular level that things are unfolding exactly in the way that they should, at the rate and timing they need. You start to trust the process. You relax from the endless pushing that most of us learned at birth. On some fundamental, mysterious level, you just let go. Now, with the bitterness people feel when they fear the ego's dreams won't occur, not with passivity, as right actions do get shown. Rather, you relax into this calm curiosity about where the flow might go. You're detached yet somehow riveted by how the story will unfold. You feel spaciously receptive and open to what wishes to come. You give it all room to blossom. You trust the highest, one way or another, eventually will unfold. You know that with God as your source, you needn't cling to any one plan, and you're not clutching a list of desires, pushing the ego's agenda even more. When you're in cycles of quiet and waiting, you catch your breath, knowing the wheel again will return. You rest because as the right actions get revealed, a lot will arise to be done. You wait for the signs and the timing rather than rip open the cocoon. You trust that delays might be welcome. You trust that delays can be good. You trust that delays are all perfect, and you stay present just to witness your own birth. Wow. I mean, just reading that again absolutely blows my mind. So again, just a quick pop in here because I located this book as I was cleaning out things in my garage, but it is so powerful that she's just literally in a way just saying, allowing the law of allowance, just as Eckhart Tolle said so succinctly, being in the present moment. Again, living outrageously allows us actually to step back a little bit more than we imagine rather than always pushing and stepping forward. Are you ready to live outrageous? Are you really ready to trust? This comes down to the trust in yourself. There's a quote that says, just trust yourself. Then you will know how to live. But again, trusting ourselves takes courage, it takes energy, and it takes consistency. And over time, that bucket of consistency will fill up and things will start to overflow in our favor. Thank you again so much to listening to Astrodology with Astrid. If you want to see a visual representation of some of my work, please follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess. That's COTALIFE, Coda Life Goddess. CODA is an acronym and a name of my company I created. It means Conscious Opportunities Through Awareness. Everything that I talk about in this podcast drills down to when we're consciously open, opportunities will show up because we are aware to see them. Just like I saw this book, it literally almost jumped at me. And I didn't even care about the price of it. I had this inner knowingness that this book somehow contained the messages that were perfect for me. Thank you again for tuning in. Be blessed, stay safe, stay well, and namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at CodaLife.com. Coda is COTA, Coda Life Goddess or CodaLife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.